Okay, how can you translate between equations and tables? This is an input-output table, and you can see up at the top, the rule is y equals 6x. Okay, so the equation we're looking at is y equals 6x. Now over here, if you think the x values are the input, you're going to put them into the rule, or you're going to put them into the equation, and then you're going to find the output, which is y. So y equals 6x. If I substitute 2 for x, I'm putting it into the equation. It's my input. 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, so y is equal to 12. All right, if I were to take the same equation, in my input, my x value is the input. I'm going to put that into the equation, and my output's y. 6 times 4 is 24. That's going to be my output. Okay, the last one, my input is 6. I'm going to put that in. 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, so one of these is the independent variable, one is the dependent variable. Okay, when you substitute x into the equation, y depends on the value of x. Okay, so your x variable is your independent variable. It can change. We know the independent variable can change. Okay, if it changes to 4, the output changes. If you look at our outputs, they're all affected by the inputs. They depend on the inputs. Okay, so in this problem we have a table. Okay, the x values are file sizes of MP3s, and the y value are times it takes to download. Okay, now in this one we're going to write an equation to show the relationship between the x and y values. Okay, remember it's an equation. There has to be an equal sign. So when you have a table and you want to translate it to an equation, you have to look for a pattern between x and y. So I see 4 and 48, 5 and 60, 6 and 72. I can see a pattern is times 12. 4 times 12 is 48, 5 times 12 is 60, 6 times 12 is 72. You have to make sure it works for every set of values. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the beginning. I know I have x as my independent variable, and I'm going to perform an operation to it. I'm going to put it into an equation, and it's going to equal y. Okay, so if I do x times 12, I'm going to get y. So 12x is equal to y. Okay, let's just check that out. If we substituted x in there, 12 times 4 is 48, 12 times 5 is 60, 12 times 6 is 72. So sometimes you're going to work backwards. You're going to have a table, and you're going to write an algebraic equation. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay, input-output tables. Up here, we'll look at one of these. Number 2, the equation is y equals 2x plus 1. So x is my input. Okay, it's my independent variable. It can change. You see how it changes here. And the value of y is going to be affected by how x changes. So if I substituted 4 in there, I'd have 2 times 4 plus 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So, okay, you can remember this. X is your input. You're going to put it into the equation, and you're going to see what comes out. Okay, if x was equal to 7, 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. So the value of y depends on the value of x. Y is the dependent variable, x is the independent variable. Okay, let's look at one more. Number 4 now, we see the relationship in the table. We have to write an equation. Okay, so one thing you can think about, x is your independent variable. You're going to perform an operation with x, and it's going to equal y. Okay, so I'm going to look in the table and see what do I do to x to get y. Go from 9 to 4, 11 to 6, 13 to 8. I can see each time you're subtracting 5. So that value is going to be 10. Okay, 9 minus 5 is 4. 11 minus 5 is 6. 13 minus 5 is 8. So I know that x minus 5 equal to y. So as the value of my independent variable changes, x is my input variable. If I put that in, 9 minus 5 is 4, 11 minus 5 is 6, 13 minus 5 is 8. The value of y depends on x. Okay, so to write an equation, you're going to look at the table and look for the relationship between the x and the y variable. Okay, remember you're writing an equation, so there has to be an equal sign that shows the relationship between x and y. After you write your equation, always go back to your input, put it in the equation, and make sure your answer makes sense.